Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EURUSD. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Greetings everybody, guys. Today we will take a look at euro currency because as you know, in the weekend we have replaced regular euro research with analysis of the Great British Pound. So it was necessary to do because it's really very important process right now stands on the way with the United Kingdom and Brexit turmoil and everything of that sort. But today we again will take a look at the euro. One thing that I just would like to do in the beginning is take a look at our the final part of the weekly research when we talked about the intraday charts. We discussed the possibility of taking the position. So you can see on the Great British Pound, this is hourly chart of the cable. As you can see, our suggestion was correct. We said keep an eye on the thrust down on the hourly chart because it could become the background for a Judd Napoli pattern, and we could get either double Brent body sell, or it could be the double repo buy pattern that could trigger upward retracement. Indeed, and you can see the thrust down, first close above the 3x3 was here, close below 3x3, and close above, again that was confirmation candle of the double repo, 50% retracement. This is the 50% resistance of the whole thrust down. This minimal target of the double repo has been achieved, and that was the opportunity to go short. So you can see that is the reaction of the market to the downside. So here, if you're following our trading plan, you probably could take now move your steps to the break-even and see what will happen next. Right now, guys, it's different possibilities could be on the market. Chance exists for example, for kind of the higher retracement, getting cartilage steeple to sell. It's one of the ways that could be formed. Maybe market will start to form the butterfly, minor bounce will happen, the market starts dropping lower. Anyway, our initial task that we have put in our weekly report has been done. So short position ability for taking short position has been reached. So retracement has followed as we have suggested. Now we just need to keep an eye what will going on with our longer term view and whether Great British Pound indeed will establish downward action. So currently, guys, it will be a really busy week for us, but it will be interesting because you know that Fed meeting will be today and result we will get tomorrow. This could become very, very important. And we have the interesting setups as in the euro currency and the Great British Pound. That's why we will have to switch between these currencies within the week, trying to not miss something really interesting. So today we do not need to make any new analysis on the Great British Pound because mostly the major features, major points we already have discussed in the weekend. So that's why today we will take a look at the euro. So on the euro currency, actually, our suggestion was correct because take a look. On Friday, we said market has hit very significant resistance area on the daily chart. So we have the ABC bottom COP targets, minor extension of the AB leg, the 618 extension. It's first extension in the chain of the extensions. And what is more interesting is that COP stands right in agreement with the confidence resistance on the daily. This is 117.80, 118.20 area approximately. So this is confidence resistance. So we have on the daily chart confidence resistance and agreement. So that is really significant area. And in common sense, as it usually happens, market should show meaningful pullback. For this, for the resistance area of such strength, it's normal when the market will show at least the 30% bounce. So here's the pullback with 30%. It will be quite normal. Also, we need to keep in mind that you probably guys remember the potential for the hand and shoulders pattern here. So that could become left shoulder, head, and here initially we were waiting for starting of the right shoulder. That's why appearing of the strong resistance for that purpose is very welcome. And although we will be focused on the conservative targets, which are 30% pullback, but also when you keep in mind that could be deeper, 50% drop right to these lows. It's approximately 115 area. It's just the harmony of this pattern suggests. You can see we will use this line here to mirror the image to the left and to the right. And you can see it's approximately downward direction should be somewhere in this area. But as I said, let's first focus on the nearest support there, nearest target, and then we will see what to do next. So that being said, on the daily chart we see the clear sign that it's not time to go long yet. So it's not good area for taking long because market right now stands at resistance. Even more, on this Friday action, it almost has created the reversal session because take a look, market has created the new top, dropped below, but closed not below the lows of the previous session, but below the open price. This is not purely the reversal, but in general action was really weak, which supports the idea of the possible another leg down. On the 4-hour time frame chart, we have a bit more details. First of all, you can see that's the final part of this ABCD pattern was the butterfly. It's 127 butterfly. And the COP target. Here we also have the washing rings on the Friday. It's also bearish. And butterfly itself suggests the minimum response on the pattern is the 30% retracement here. And it hasn't been reached yet. It's 117.03 area. But taking into consideration the strength of the resistance, guys, I would suggest that minimal target, as I said, will be the 30%. It stands 116.18, 116.35. This is confidence support on the 4-hour time frame chart. And take a look, that is also weekly pivot support. One will stand here. Now market stands tight to the previous top, stands above the weekly pivot point for testing of this previous top, as you can see, and keeps well at this trend line. So here is a lot of tools that we could use for identification of the deeper action. And the first tool is the trend line, of course. So if market will break it down, it will mean that market is coming lower. And that will be the next area that we will keep an eye on as a potential target. Here, guys, on the hourly chart, I would like to explain you why this washing risk was possible. It's very interesting, and that probably will give you some knowledge to understanding of the process in the future if you will see it. So take a look at our hourly chart. On the hourly chart, on Friday we said that market has completed this ABCD pattern, it's OP, and turns down. And we said keep an eye on possible retracement. It will be suitable for taking the short position. But take a look what the ABCD pattern we have calculated. We use the conservative target because when you're taking the long position, you trade it long, it's better to use tighter targets, closer targets, not to extend it. That is just give you more guarantee that your target will be hit, and so it will be less competition for orders to close the target. And if you use a bit slightly different target compared to all other traders use, that's why we fade ABCD patterns where we trade to upside, and we use, take a look at this point of the screen. We use not absolute low, but we take as a point the level where the upward action really has started. That gives you a bit smaller target. So OP stands tighter. And indeed, take a look, market has shown very good reaction on this a bit faded ABCD target. But this OP hit, I marked it with the just minor sign here. So OP could be treated as a reaching of the absolute target. If you use here this A slightly lower, then the OP target, real OP target, will stand slightly higher for the same distance as the difference between these two A points. And that explains why market has hit finally the final OP target as well. This happens not every time. That's why when I'm trade, I use always the faded extensions as to upside as to the downside. So that is the reason why the market has formed here the washing rings. Now, taking it all together that we have said about the euro currency situation, I probably would watch for some bearish continuation pattern here, that could provide the ability to take the short position against this top. Because currently on the top, market has completed all short-term targets. Hourly ABCD has been completed. 4-hour time frame daily COP target has been completed. Market has completed the butterfly, so we do not have any extensions that stand slightly higher than this top. And it means if retracement should start, it already has started. So this leg down is probably the first leg of the retracement. That's why I just need to get a bit better price area, price level for taking the short position. And I was watching for some kind of the bearish continuation pattern, something of that sort that I've drawn here. It's kind of the garden steeple to sell that provide you good area for taking short against this top. So that's the setup that currently we could keep an eye on euro currency. So if market somehow will break this top and will continue move higher and will hold above it, well, it could mean that maybe upward action is continuing. But dealing with the probabilities, currently the probability suggests that still some pullback should happen. Also, guys, if you're watching for our gold analysis that we have provided on gold market, guys, we have the bearish grabber on the weekly chart, and this makes overall situation a bit more complex. That's why I'm not suggesting on the euro currency, because it's really some correlation existing between the euro and the forex market and the gold, since all of them stand against the United States dollar. And it's quite rare happens when they show the absolutely opposite actions. So we could move in the same direction with a different degree, but absolute opposite action happens for quite rare. That's why having the bearish grabber on the weekly on the gold market makes me think that in the euro currency still we should get the deeper retracement. So that's just cross market analysis, and anyway we should keep it in mind. The same story on the Great British Pound. So on the Great British Pound, as we have explained and discussed in our weekly report, we also watch for a bit downward continuation. So anyway, tomorrow we will get results of the Fed meeting. It's really could turn everything from top to bottom. So let's see what will happen and what action we will get on the forex market today and tomorrow.